This right here is the Oceanic Plus dive housing. A housing that lets you shoot color-corrected photos and videos fast with your iPhone, and it doubles as a dive computer as well. But how does it actually work underwater? Hey everybody, Torben here from DIVEIN, the place where we test and review dive gear and give you all the best from the underwater world. Today we're putting the Oceanic Plus dive housing on the spot. We have been using this one for quite some time. We've been using it in colder waters where the water is more green and there's less light, and we've been using it in both Mediterranean, warmer waters, and in Caribbean with tropical climate as well. So in this video, you're really getting a sense of how all of the materials that comes out of this housing works. So in the review, we'll of course go through how you set it up and get it ready for a full dive. We'll talk about all the features it has. It's an auto vacuum pump, leak detection, so that will keep your phone safe. Then of course we're going to talk about the quality of the images and the video that comes out of this, and how all of this works together with these dive computer functions, and how it actually works as a dive computer. After the dive, we'll talk about how all the logbook features works with both your photo and video materials, but also just what you can use this for as a diver after you've been out diving, or even before for your next dive, because there's also some planning in this app. So really a full walkthrough of the Oceanic Plus housing after numerous dives and a lot of years use of this housing. So let's dive in. Before we get started, quick announcement. Here at DIVEIN, we test a lot of dive gear, and even though we love it, we can't use all of it. So at some point, I'll let you know how you can get your hands on this. So make sure you watch the whole thing. So the whole concept of the Oceanic Plus housing is to make it easier for you to bring your iPhone underwater and use this really powerful camera that the iPhone has to capture beautiful video and photo, and even let you color correct it right on the spot or color correct it after the dive is done. So there's a lot of options to this. And then they build in app sensors, so depth sensors, temperature sensors, that lets this work as a dive computer. So that's the whole concept of it. Now, how does this work? Well, first you need to set it up. So basically, you download the app, which is in the App Store, quite easy to do. There's a subscription to this. I'll come more into how the subscription works, but you sign up or use the free options. That's up to you. The subscription with the free option lets you use the dive housing, but not the dive computer, whereas the paid version lets you use the dive computer as well. Once you have the app and you're ready to go, you connect the app plus the housing. That works really simple, actually. It's just, a few clicks and then you connect it to the housing. Make sure you update for the newest firmware of the housing. It takes a bit of time, so make sure you set it up. Probably what I'm saying here is set it up before you're on the boat, because if it does not have a proper connection, it doesn't work. As soon as you're ready to dive, you click the dive button on the phone, and then it goes through this onboarding process of getting the phone in the right place in the housing. You go through this, you open up the cap for the vacuum, it seals it. Everything is basically a click and I accept, and you do the things on there. So it's really a step-by-step guide, I think the best I've seen in terms of getting ready to use a housing. As soon as you're ready, it has a 3 minutes where it tests the sealed, and it makes sure that there's vacuum on the inside. So basically, it seals the whole housing with a vacuum, which means if the vacuum releases, there's a leak. Really nice to have it. A lot of the more expensive housings will have a vacuum pump, or the iPhone housings also have a vacuum pump. So I'm doing this because it's a manual pump. This one has an automatic pump, which works nice. And a detection, if you break this seal, it will not let you take it diving. As soon as you're in the water, or as soon as you're ready to dive, the iPhone is ready. You click through the settings, of course, of the video quality you want. You can do that on the phone before you put the housing in, and you can do it afterwards once the housing is in. So video quality, do you want to do HD 1080, or do you want to do 4K 30 frames, 60 frames, depending on the video quality? Then you can do standard mode or raw images as well. Once you're in the water, the housing works quite simply. Now there's no camera in here, but you have the trigger button up here, and then you have 4 buttons here on the back that toggles between the different menus. So one button will let you switch quickly from image to video. One button will activate the dive computer or show you information from the dive computer. So basically the dive computer will be up in the corner, and then you can toggle to have a smaller or larger screen of dive computer, which is really cool. Image and video results. So we shot both with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and we shot some newer things with this 17 Pro. Mostly I say iPhone 15 Pro Max because that's the format. We just changed to a 17 Pro, so that's quite recently. The details of the image, it's smooth looking footage, good details in bright conditions, and you can even see like the on the image, you can see the areas that are well lit, but you can also see the darker places as well. It's really good at capturing contrast of the images. All of the newer iPhones has such a good camera, and it's just taking all of this underwater. Now with this built-in color correction, what you get out of this is just a much more warmer and nicer image or video as well. And what I really like is how easy it is to color correct it and use it straight away. So if you have the color correction set up before you go diving, it is ready. As soon as you come up from the dive, you can take your phone out and then you can start sharing this. It's like having dive lights down and are capturing all this. It's just much more simple. Now, talking about dive lights and all these accessories, do you need it? No, not really. It of course always adds warmth to a dive to add a tray plus dive lights. But I think one of the key features of the Oceanic Plus housing is that you do not need all this setup. It's more the housing you have, and then you can focus on, of course, capturing this, but you can much more importantly focus on your dive. And actually, that's the important thing. Now let's come into the dive computer parts of this, because with the subscription, you have a lot more options. There's also this, if you shoot photos and videos that are not color corrected, or if you want to adjust it, with the subscription, you have a full way of changing the color correction settings in post-production in the Oceanic app. So if you don't think like this wasn't sharp enough, or this wasn't, the right colors, you can actually adjust this, or you can shoot it all in standard format without color correction, and then you can edit that afterwards in the app, but that's only with the paid subscription. Now, even cooler with the paid subscription is the built-in dive computer. We've been using it quite a lot, both with the Apple Watch Ultra, and if you have the subscription on one device, it will work for both devices. So it will work for the Apple Watch and it will work for the Oceanic Plus housing as two separate dive computers. Basically, if you leave one of them, let's say you lend the housing to your buddy and then you go deeper, you will still be recording your full information on the wrist and vice versa. If you're using the Oceanic as a dive computer or like main dive computer, don't leave it with someone else. That's just not safe. The dive computer works really simple. They kind of taken all of the nice usability features like bright screen, bright alerts from the Apple Watch Ultra. I have a full review of that one. You're going to see that one up here. But really, usability is key in the Apple Ultra dive computer from Oceanic Plus, and they've taken that into the housing as well. So big, bright, clear screens, easy readings, easy to understand your NDLs, your depth, all of that. And it has these colorful alerts if you go up too fast. The dive computer in the Oceanic Plus housing is depth rated down to 60 meters, so it'll give you full dive computer down to 60 meters, whereas the Apple Watch Ultra is only for 40 meters. So you do get more depth with the Oceanic Plus housing with the same Oceanic Plus app. That's really cool as well. So the dive computer works. I've heard some issues about the overheating of the housing. I think that was before. I've never experienced that myself, but there is issues with that. So I would recommend that you bring, and I think when you sign up for the Oceanic, it also says this is only a backup dive computer, so always bring at least another dive computer device or a timing device so you can end the dive safely in case this breaks down. I think this combo of camera app and dive computer works really well. And when I'm comparing the photo and video, I really think that we're getting a lot of value because you get this really crisp, nice video footage straight out of this housing that you can use so well. After the dive, you have all this logbook experience that works really well with all the media you captured. Photos and images and all the data from your dive is actually put into a depth graph. So photos captured within the first 2 seconds will be placed right there on this depth graph. And this is where you will see that. So you can click in and you can kind of see this. And then you're like, oh wait, we had this another cool turtle at 20 meters, 60 feet. You can kind of go up to where you were around this depth and you can find these images and video. And I think that's a cool feature to have in, and it really adds a lot of depth to your logbook experience. And you get entry and exit points via GPS. And this also lets you share your logs with other divers that are diving in this area. They might not see your media, but they can see some of your data when they are planning. And the planning parts of the app is another thing that I really like. So it has this location planner built in where you can click on a location at a popular dive spot, and then it migrates data from other users, not your depth or your photos and videos, but temperature temperature added at depth. And I think that's one of the most important things when I'm planning a dive. I'm like, All right, so temperature at the surface is one thing, but what is it at depth? That's what I need to know to plan which suit I'm wearing. And you can get this with the Oceanic Plus app, which I really love. Then there's a built-in weight planner as well. So if you're new in diving or diving with new gear, it's nice to get this idea of, with this gear, I'm going to be needing this much weight. And how it's built in, you can find those other places on the internet, but now you just have it at a glance on your phone. Cool thing. When we're comparing this to other cameras, I think the iPhone cameras nowadays are so far beyond what I at least see for a lot of the point and shoot cameras. It might be that, it can do different things or have different settings, but I don't see any reason to go out and buy a new point and shoot camera anymore, put that into a housing and then take that diving. Really, I think that the quality of this that comes out of this is just far superior. In the comments, argue with me if you think I'm wrong on this point, but I don't think so. In terms of action cameras, because there's a lot of cool options for that, and they add a lot of new features with this color correction built in or on an app as well. We also see the 360 cameras are adding a lot of depth to this. But where the iPhone cameras stand out is definitely with the photos. So when you're taking images on the water, you can focus much more on it. You can do better photos than you can do with the action cameras. But you also get really good video with the iPhone, and it has built-in stabilization. Not as good as the action cameras for sure, but enough for most underwater uses, because you're not really like driving on a motorbike where you need a lot of shake stability. And just gives a good smooth video, which is what we're looking for underwater. We don't have that many shakes anyway, but we do have a bit. If you try with no stabilization, you will definitely see the shakes. Always add the stabilization to your video underwater. It adds much more smooth video. Well, the only thing that kind of comes over this is, of course, if you're doing underwater video or photos really serious and you want the DSLR, the mirrorless cameras, or the bigger setups, then this will far outshine what you can do with the Oceanic Plus setup. But that's of course also another dive that you're doing, and it's much more focused on photo and video. And that really ties well into who's this for. Anyone who wants to capture quick image or video on the spot on any dive that will focus on the dive as much as focus on all the other things, or focus on the video and image as much as they want to focus on the dive. You have the options here. You can tuck it away. They even have a nice sleeve for it, so you can tuck it away on the dive and enjoy the dive, and then bring it out when you want to capture the essence of the dives, and it's ready to share straight away. You don't have to pull it out of an app that you do with a lot of the action cameras or a lot of the other things, and it's color corrected straight out of the app as well. I think that's another really cool feature of it, and where I would really recommend it. And then who shouldn't buy? Well, of course, that's the DSLR looking, the people who are really into underwater photography, who wants to set up, who wants to play around with strobes and with lights underwater. I think there are better options for you out there. And this ties me into what I don't like about this product, because of course in any product there are things I don't like about it. There has been cases with this one where it overheats and stops working. What I've seen, what I've heard, they've solved that issue. I've never experienced myself on any of the dives I've done, so I can't really attest to it, but I've just seen comments on it. But what I've also seen is that Oceanic, or the team behind Oceanic, works seamlessly on fixing. I've never seen as many updates as that comes out. I've been subscribing to the emails for a long time, and you keep getting updates out that really fixes this. And a lot of that we're working on these boxes they had in the beginning. And then of course there's the subscription. The more we have to pay, the more annoying we also get. As divers, we have plenty of things to spend money on. But you can use the Oceanic Plus housing without the subscription. And then with the subscription, especially if you have the Apple Watch Ultra, it ties in as a dive computer. So I don't like it, but I can also see the reasons for it, because you get this built-in dive computer that is really cool. You can buy the subscription if you just need it for a few days or like a week or a month, or if you're using it constantly, you can buy it for a year. I love that part of the subscription, so you can add it when you need it and then not pay for it when you don't need it. That's a cool add-on. Now we're coming to the end of the video, but we have of course the giveaway in a bit. I want to tie this review up with the things that really makes this stand out. I think it's the color corrected videos and images you get straight out of this camera. It really ties into what I love about diving, that I can focus on the dive, capture something, and then it's ready to use and share straight away. So I don't have to, spend tons of time post-editing. Usually I don't get that done. So I love that part of this one. I love the dive computer features into it, because it makes me focus on the camera when I'm focusing on that one, and it's bright and clear and gives you that information. And that's really the essence of the iPhone as a camera and the Oceanic Plus housing. It just ties in really well. So that was all I had for this. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below in the comments. And then it's time for the giveaway, because of course there is a giveaway in this video as well. To answer this giveaway, you have to do 3 simple things. First up, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Second up, in the comments below, tell us what you think about the Oceanic Plus housing. What are the features that you like the most and you would use the most? Last but not least, sign up to the newsletter. First link in the description is where we'll announce the winners of the giveaway. So make sure you sign up and check the emails. That's all for the Oceanic Plus dive housing app review. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.